Hello, and welcome back to our final video in the Theology in Action series on the minor prophets. In this video, we're taking a look at Zephaniah, a prophet to the southern kingdom of Israel, also known as Judah. Zephaniah can be seen as a sort of poster child for the minor prophets. He comes to the people of Jerusalem, the capital of Judah, with their sin, the punishment that will befall them, and what will happen instead of punishment if they instead repent. That is the formula that most other the minor prophets used when speaking to the nations that they spoke to. And in Zephaniah specifically, he preached the message of God's judgment and hope, using a specific phrase, the day of the Lord, to depict his message. We first see a description of the day of the Lord in Zephaniah's depiction of the judgment that will befall Jerusalem. In chapter 1, verse 17, it says, "I will bring distress on men, so that they will walk like the blind, because they have sinned against the Lord, and their blood will be poured out like dust, and their flesh like dung." This judgment and wrath will befall Jerusalem, but not only Jerusalem, it will also befall the nations surrounding them and the entire world. The nations surrounding them receive judgment according to Zephaniah 1, verse 8. "Then it will come upon on the day of the Lord's sacrifice that I will punish the princes, the king's sons, and all who clothe themselves with foreign garments." And also the rest of the world in verse 2 of chapter 1. "I will completely remove all things from the face of the earth, declares the Lord." This destruction and wrath and judgment from God is seen all throughout Zephaniah. For instance, in chapter 2, verse 4 through 7, "For Gaza will be abandoned, and Ashkelon a desolation. Ashdod will be driven out at noon, and Ekron will be uprooted. Woe to the inhabitants of the seacoast, the nation of the Cherethites, the word of the Lord is against you. O Canaan, land of the Philistines, and I will destroy you, so that there will be no inhabitant. So the seacoast will be pastures, with caves for shepherds and folds for flocks, and the coasts will be the remnant of the house of Judah. They will pasture on it. In the house of Ashkelon they will lie down at evening, for the Lord their God will care for them and restore their fortune." This is a pretty large indictment against not only Jerusalem, but its neighboring countries and the rest of the world. There's no doubt that when Zephaniah is talking about the day of the Lord, he's referring to a grand scale judgment and destruction. Luckily, the day of the Lord is not just a time of judgment. It's also a time for the restoration of humanity, and that's where Zephaniah turns to next. In chapter 3, verses 11 through 13, he describes what will happen if the people of God seek him and return to him. He writes, "In that day you will feel no shame, because all of your deeds by which you have rebelled against me. For them I will remove from your midst your proud, exulting ones, and you will never again be haughty on my holy mountain. But I will leave among you a humble and lowly people, and they will take refuge in the name of the Lord. The remnant of Israel will do no wrong and tell no lies, nor will a deceitful tongue be found in their mouths, for they will feed and lie down with no one to make them tremble." This is a description of a lack of fear and a lack of sin. The Lord will wipe clean what has been done against him, and he will forgive the people of Israel and all of humanity that he has judged. And not only that, Zephaniah then goes on to say in verse 17 of the same chapter, "The Lord your God is in your midst, a victorious warrior. He will exult over you with joy. He will be quiet in his love. He will rejoice over you with shouts of joy." There's a depiction of the hope that comes. It is not only judgment, but it is also hope. And while the present situation in Israel's destruction might seem bleak, there is an looking forward to the victory that God will bring and the hope that they can have in that. And so we see Zephaniah speak into the lives of people who have sinned against God with a message not only of judgment, but also of hope. And from this we can gather that God takes our life and our relationship with him very seriously. And if we don't do the same, we can still be assured that he will be victorious and bring restoration to us. Well, that concludes the final video for the Theology in Action series on the minor prophets. It's been a pleasure being with you. And if you liked this video, be sure to check out the rest of our videos for Theology in Action on our website, our YouTube channel, and we post them weekly on our Facebook page.